Okay, so I'm gonna say my first time ever hurt really, really bad. So I went down into my cold storage room, pantry, whatever you want to call it, in the basement to pull out some beans for dinner. This here, what you're seeing is some stewed tomatoes I just did 2 days ago, and they're ready to go downstairs. So this is what I'm talking about. As you can see, ah, yes. I went to pull out some beans for dinner, and the seal is gone on it. Yes, it is. I tightened the top down because I didn't want any stench or anything to come out from under it. So I actually tightened down the top, but that's not the way I store them. I actually store them like really loose. Like, see how this one's loose? This is how I store them. But yeah, when I pulled the bottle out, I was like, wow. And I don't know what happened. As you can clearly see, yeah, that one is off, gone. Yeah, and I don't know because these were canned in the pressure cooker. So what happens is once they sort of sit on the counter for 24 hours. I'm holding the camera with one hand and trying to wind this off. So that's sorry about this. So what happens is after they come out of the canner, I take the rings off and I do what I call the fingertip test, which is this. I actually hold the jar by my fingertips to make sure they sealed. And I do that to every single one. Every single one. And then what I would do is I'll take the rings off the following day. I would wash the rings with some warm soapy water. I would wash the bottles with some warm soapy water and I would date them. This, as you can see, is not going to focus. Okay, so it says 616. And I could tell what kind of beans it is now that I've gotten used to canning beans. Yeah, at the beginning I was writing what it was on there and all that, but I can easily tell what they are. These are stewed tomatoes. I wrote them on there somewhere. I had the fancy labels, but I ran out. And as you can see, 1016, I canned these because they look a lot like my salsa. Actually, not really, because the salsa has a lot more peppers and stuff in it. But anyway, I wrote what they were on it. So I do the fingertip test, as I was saying. I wash them in warm soapy water. I make sure they're sealed by doing that. And then I store them with the rings on it because, as I said, my family, my husband, please, they're not going to go around looking for rings once they open the bottle to put it in the fridge. They're not going to do it. So I store them with the rings on them very loosely, and I put them in the cold storage. So what happened to this bad boy, Mama Gemma? I have no idea. But when I noticed that, after I had finished preparing dinner and everything, I went to my cold storage and I went through every single last can. And I checked to make sure they were all sealed. I mean, it's not a lot. It's probably about 16, maybe 15 or so cases. So probably like 180, 200 plus jars that I just quickly went through and made sure they were all still sealed. Some I am worried about, like my very first ones. I actually put the label, those round like water soluble labels on the top. But this doesn't have one, so I don't know what the cause of this was. This just has a little date on it. And so I stopped doing that. I started putting them on the sides. So I don't know what happened with this, but actually seeing this after all this hard work I did doing the canning, washing them, canning them, putting in, and with my canner it's like a whole part. It's like a couple of days to do like 25 pounds of beans because of the way only takes 4 jars. So, but anyway, this is my story. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so everything, all the other cans are fine. Just this one, yeah, the seal released. But hopefully it won't ever happen to me again. So, that's my story. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a good day.